Myths or misperceptions. Today we're going to be doing a real intense one. A bit of a doozy, if you want to call it something. And this this has to do with stress being a symptom. So often we think stress is the worst thing because it causes all these bad things. However, the origin of stress is the lack of appreciation, either of self, either of somebody else, or a circumstance. Now, this lack of appreciation can cause two types of stress, essentially. The one of worry. So there's something outside of us that we can't control. So we're afraid essentially. So we stress out. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. So we get anxious, we get stressed. However, this is the lesser one of the two. The second is internal stress. This coming from the stress of lacking something inside of yourself. And it's a lot harder to deal with because once it's there, you can't just think it away. Even if you think that, I shouldn't be stressed and, I need to work on the thing, because it's coming from lacking, you have to provide an action that proves to the self or your body or your mind that you are actually not lacking this quality. And then when you take in the fact that you're not lacking, you're able to make leaps and bounds above where you are because you realize a lot of the things that you were perceiving were misperceptions. So, some examples of this, of not appreciating, for example, if we want to go into the most popular male versus female, female versus male scenario, which again, if you want to define things on that kind of scale, you've lost already. The idea is we're humans, and not in the sense of, oh yeah, everybody's a human, we all have rights and all these kind of good things, but from the perspective of appreciation. Everybody wants to be heard and appreciated. So, for example, if we go back to the, let's say, traditional model, because that's the easiest thing, and I'm a storyteller, so I can make it that way. We go back to the traditional model, and we look at, the man making the money, the woman taking care of the children, and the children being mothered by the mother. Um, what we see is, although there were some bad things about this model, not all bad. For one, the male, seemingly the person working at a possibly dangerous job to make sure that the family can survive, is appreciated by the female, who is then taking care of the children, and the children appreciate the mother for doing that thing. The children don't have the same kind of love for the father because the father's not around, but the appreciation of the mother to the father shows the children that he has a place or a circumstance in this family that we call. Ideally, I like this model only because it shows teamwork, and that is what you should take from it. Everybody appreciates everybody, everybody feels heard, everybody is able to um, see their role and their contribution to the family. The children soon have chores to help mother. The mother cooks or shows some kind of endearment to the father, who then knows that it's worth it to go and do this job that he particularly probably doesn't like, but is just good for the money. And he continues doing that as everybody kind of works together. However, when we try to bring the culture of that into modern day thinking, it looks pretty bad. Um, and not to say that there weren't bad incidents of the thing, but the symbol of it, which is the traditional family or family, people appreciating each other in a cohesive group, which is always nice. You can call this friendship, you can call it whatever you like. That is what it is. And because of this thing, you're able to do more because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the other people. You see, when you make yourself the center of something, you destroy it. If you try to control something, you destroy it. So when the husband doesn't appreciate the wife, she doesn't feel loved, therefore starts to feel angry and bitter about the things that she has to do. Conversely, the male working doesn't feel appreciated by the wife, like, so what, you're just working and it's not that big of a deal. The male then becomes bitter and unappreciative of the wife or take care or caregiver. And this creates, as you can see, a very toxic environment. And then who breathes in these toxins? The children. The children then have a disoriented way of looking at what love or comparing compassion to the things that they're going to go through. And then things become a little bit hairier. So that is a quick model of the concept of how appreciation works in a family unit.